Capcom's little boy is all grown up, and throughout the years there have been some amazing Mega Man games. While researching for this video, I wanted to give you guys the best Mega Man fan games across all platforms. What I found was so many fan-made games that I had to break this up by each game. So today we are looking at the very first Mega Man for the original Nintendo on another ROMHACK review. Okay, my friends, let's get started with a really good one. This is Mega Man Reloaded by Zieldak. And this is basically a complete rehash of the original game. The story goes like this. Wily breaks out of prison at some point and he secretly builds a new base on a small island. He steals and reprograms the original 6 robot masters from Mega Man 1 from the Robot Museum, wherever that is. And to get revenge for being defeated for the 11th time, he sends them across the world to cause total chaos. Will Mega Man be able to stop Wily once again? I think so. This ROM hack ports in the music from Mega Man 2 and updates the graphics, sprites, and level design. And wow, did they do an overhaul. This game looks really awesome. The AI has been changed in some of the enemies for the better, like the infuriating Sniper Joes that used to always give me trouble as a kid. The bosses have new weaknesses now, so this will freshen up the gameplay for longtime players. Also, what I really like about this hack is that it's not insanely hard and it's very balanced, and definitely worth checking out. Next up we have Rockman Gaiden by Sofia. This is another overhaul of the original game that changes the sprites, graphics, and level layouts, some in interesting ways. Music has been imported from Battle Network, Zelda, Golden Sun, and more. Bosses' weaknesses are reworked to freshen things up as well, and the whole package is pretty damn good. The difficulty is about the same as the original, but does get pretty hard in the final levels, as it should be. What I really like about this ROM hack is how bright and colorful Sofia made the levels, and they get pretty crazy. For instance, in Fireman stage, you start out in the woods and work your way into space, which is just bizarre, but totally awesome. This ROM hack definitely earns its place on this list as one of my favorite ROM hacks. It's a great package, you should definitely check it out. Guys, you're gonna have to tell me what the hell this ROM hack is about in the comments, but it's cool. This is Byte's Adventure by DarkData. Immediately off the bat, you will notice that the stages are inspired by classic games like Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog, and I even catch a whiff of Zelda in there with that heart-style life bar. So I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but again, this game is very colorful and has some really outside-the-box thinking. Byte's Adventure also has one of my favorite stages on this list, and that is Dungeon Man stage, which is really Electro Man, and wow! What a concept in a Mega Man game. I love the darkness and the hanging skeletons and the sconces on the walls. It really shows what an artist can do with 8-bit sprites. Now I wish I could say that for every level. Some seemed a little bit phoned in and not complete, but I would say about half the levels look amazing and the other half of the levels are just okay, but still a really great fan game for what it is. Detail, detail, detail. This is Mega Man Redux by Amaweks. Amaweks. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a graphics hack and nothing else, but a lot of time really went into giving this game a facelift. I think the biggest thing to notice about this game is that what Amaweks did was change the art style from what they call an anime art style into a shaded art style. And this does make the game bear resemblance in some ways to the legitimate remake by Sega, the Wily Wars, for example. But damn, I think this game looks better. They said they added things wherever there was extra space, like clouds, fences, pipes, etc., and changed almost every sprite in the game. And you know what? I don't mind straight graphics hacks. They slap a fresh coat of paint onto an old classic. It's also interesting that a lot of these ROM hackers cut their teeth on modifying old games and then eventually make their way over into game development. So anyway, this person did a very, very good job, and I'm so glad I got to share this hack with you today. Now on to Rockman EX by AYCNN. This ROM hack is a graphics and level hack. Other things changed are the bosses, weaknesses, as well as the weapons and enemies. I think the highlight of this game, though, is the level layouts. The level design is done really well. The combinations of the enemies and obstacles on every screen, and the various ways to pass them, really transform this game into something fresh. This hack really makes you think about how to proceed through every screen, and it's an amazing challenge that requires timing, thinking, and careful moves. The creator did make a few of the stages much harder, but also lightened up the difficulty on others, so your classic strategy to defeat the bosses in a certain order will be different. The palettes on some of the sprites have been changed as well, but not to the extent of some of the other games on this list, but it also looks fantastic. So yes, yet another great fan game to check out from AYCNN. Okay, so before we get into this ROM hack, it's important to know what it refers to. I'm going to try to make this quick. In Japan, there is a community of indie developers and fans that make their own fan games called doujin games. One indie universe is known as Toho, and is comprised of mostly bullet hell shooters. Well, an indie developer named Twilight Frontier made a spin-off of that series in the style of Megaman. Do you follow? Still with me there, buddy? This was called Megamari. As you can see from the footage, that game is totally awesome, and we will cover it in another video. Now, this Mega Man ROM hack is a demake of that game, and it's one of the best on this list. I am not sure what's up with the story, but I think you are like a young witch or something, and apparently all of the bad guys took all the books home from the library and are hoarding them, so you are out to kick ass and get your books back. What's notable about this fan game is that all of the bosses' sprites have been changed into evil little schoolgirls or witches or whatever. So cool. And that shows that you don't have to stop with all of the other tweaks and modifications that we have seen so far. You can literally modify the bosses too if you want when making a Mega Man 1 fan game. Everything else also looks amazing. They give the game new level layouts, sprites a complete makeover, color palettes are changed, and alter the boss's weaknesses as well. It is a big yes for me on this one, guys. Ooh, boy, this variety hack is the bee's knees, y'all, and damn, this game looks good. First off, the level design is excellent, and the color palettes are top-notch. Timaeus also did reskins of the bosses and matched them with amazing level themes. He even changed up the weapons, even with one that restores health, which gives you a lot more leeway for taking hits. The music remixes were also fantastic, hand-picked from various games and converted perfectly to the Mega Man 1 sound font. I think this one has the best music for me so far, but that's my opinion. Hopefully I'm not sounding too much like a broken record, but I only want to provide you guys with presentable, clean, solid ROM hacks. I will tell you this, guys, this one gets hard real fast, so you will run across very difficult situations and unforgiving jumps. So prepare to use save states if you are not really good at Mega Man, but check it out. Get ready for Rockman Claw by Tsukikuro, the hardest ROM hack on this list. This game is brutal and unforgiving as it was meant to be. Tsukikuro is all about making the game faster, and he has a bunch of projects I'm sure I will feature in future episodes. In some of the other fan games, you will come across large sections that will be unaltered for the most part. Not here. This took time and is a complete overhaul. I love the changes to the game mechanics. This includes things like climbing ladders faster, health and weapons pickups not stopping the game or your movement, and faster use of the weapons menu itself. Now you are going to die. A lot. especially on the bosses, but every boss can be beaten with just the buster if you spend enough time figuring out their patterns. Also, this ROM hack completely replaces the magnetic beam with a new double jump utility, which is incredibly helpful and fun to use. Towards the end of the game, things will really pick up. Each wily boss has massive overhauls that will push your reflexes and force you to experiment with different weapons and strategies to come out on top. But guess what? This is going to be the hardest version of Wily you are going to play, at least on this list. Don't worry though, it is entirely possible to learn his pattern, and since there are several extra lives in the stage and your weapon energy is topped out when you respawn, there's plenty of opportunity to experiment until you figure it out. Finally, this one brings back a lot of nostalgia. This is Mega Man in the Mushroom Kingdom. I remember hearing about this ROM hack like 15 years ago. A friend of mine showed it to me. It probably single-handedly started me down the road of ROM hacks, homebrews, and fan games. I remember thinking, holy shit, you can do that? How do you do that? Mega Man and Super Mario? What? Basically, this game takes Mega Man and throws him into Super Mario World. Everything has been changed to fit the aesthetic, and Mega Man can jump higher, levels were redesigned, and there were other minor text and graphics changes. Naysayers will tell you this game is outdated, and they are right to an extent. It does suffer from slowdown, and further improvements could be made, such as fixing that slowdown, bugs, and changing the bosses to say maybe Bowser's family and Bowser himself. How badass would that be? Look, it may have bugs and glitches, but I like to cut it some slack. It's one of the early ones, and it holds a special place in my heart. I'm really hoping this game one day gets the attention it deserves and gets an update to make it absolutely epic. But I still think it's cool as hell. That's why it's on this list. But hey, that's me. Big thank you to RushJet1 for contributing his music to this video. I will leave a link in the description to buy his music. He has done all of the Mega Man games remade, and I would be really interested to see what you guys would like to see next in the description. I really like making these videos, and it would be an honor if you guys would hook me up with a subscribe, baby, because you know what? I love doing this. This is definitely my passion, so thank you so much for watching. Denver Gamer signing out here, and I'll see ya next video.